Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alondra, and this is WhimsyDesigns. So, in today's video, we are finally going to be doing a macrame video. I've been talking about this for the longest, and I'm sorry, but I'm back with one. So, today I'm actually working on a macrame bouquet for my best friend's wedding. So, I already have 4 of them made up. I have 5 in total. This is what they are looking like, as you can see. And then there will be a little bit of greenery and flowers, one little set of greenery and flowers over here, and then some more kind of tracing over here, maybe hanging down just a little bit, and that will complete it. And then the girls will be able to hold it like this and just, you know, it'll be cute. So I'm going to show you how I'm making these. I first have my cords cut. I have 3 different lengths. Hey, jumping in real quick. So I forgot to measure the lengths of these cords. So the measurements I'm giving are approximate lengths. I do believe that they are close, but I do apologize if it's not exact because I forgot. Okay, bye, love you. I have 8 pieces at one length that I'm going to put here. I have 2 pieces at another length I'm going to put here. And then I have about 6 cords at this length. Now, I originally was using the 4mm macrame cord. I ran out and ordered some more, not realizing that I was using 4mm until I ordered 3mm and saw the size difference. So there is a slight size difference. Some of them are a little bit mixed, but thankfully cord is just really forgiving, and this pattern specifically is forgiving, so it did kind of meld together pretty well. But I think 4mm really gives it a nice just body to it, and the 3mm is definitely equally fine. But what we're going to do to start is, so we have the 2 long cords. We're going to take the shorter of the 2 long cords and we are going to put them on the top of my ring. I got all my materials from Amazon and I was gifted the flowers for free. However, I will leave a link to the greenery. There is some eucalyptus leaves that you could use for this exact project, and I will leave that link below. I will also leave the link for the cord and the gold rings that I am using. And I believe these are 14 inch. They're 12 or 14 inch. So as you can see, I already have one on the loop. I'm going to add another. The cords are going to do what the cords want to do, and you just have to be ready to move with them. And before you add the cords, you want to make sure that your ends are matched, so that when we do get to the point of trimming everyone at the end, there isn't any cords that are too short, because that is an issue that I ran into before, and we don't want that. So I don't know terminology for macrame very well, so I do apologize. But basically, I'm lining up the edges, getting my center point, looping my now center point over the top, bringing it through, taking my 2 ends that have met up and bringing them through the little loop that I made. I know it's difficult to tell on the ring because it keeps sliding. And then we pull evenly all the way to the end, and you just want to make sure that you stay even. So in total, there are 10 long cords that we will be working with in order to form the pattern, and then the 6 shorter cords are going to fill in the gaps at the end. Okay, so now we're on to our 2 longer cords. Technically, we could have started with these. I forgot where I had them placed, but our 2 longer cords, we want to break center. So my hook that's holding my ring up is my center, and I'm going to do the same exact thing to attach the cord on one side of center, and then we'll do it on the other. Now, I have not traced this down to a science, but the middle cords get worked the most with the 3mm. If you have 4mm, I believe you should actually be just fine. It worked out fine for me the first time with all 4mm cording. That came out weird, with all 4mm cording. So the reason for the longer cords in the center is that with the 3mm, the middle chords are doing the most work. And as you can see on this one, my middle chords ended up here and they did the most work. And so they ended up shorter than the others. And I believe it's, yeah, right over here. So if you're going for a kind of natural, messy, staggered kind of bottom, then that's absolutely fine. You don't have to make your center chords longer. However, if you are going for a more equal finish of everyone being at the same length, that's why we want to elongate the middle chords for 3mm. However, with the 4mm, it did seem to work out perfectly. This is all 4mm chording. I had no issues here. So now all 10 chords are on. And now we're going to make square knots, and we're going to do 5 across. So I'm going to bring out 2. So we're going to take the first 2, take the outer chord, cross over the 2 middle chords, take the other outer chord, cross over the other outer chord that you just brought over, bring that now to the back to go under, and pull through that loop. And then you'll pull up, and then you'll do the same but starting with the opposite side. So now I'm going to take this and make my loop, make a 4, however you want to see it. Take the other outer chord, cross over and behind, and then through the loop and pull. And that's how we make one square knot. So now we're going to make 5. Once again, take one outer chord, bring them across the 2 middle chords, take your opposite side, bring that across the other chord that just came over, bring it to the back and through the loop and pull, and then reverse the direction. Outer, over, through the loop, and pull. Outer, over, outer, under, through the loop, and pull. Outer, over, under, through the loop, and pull. Excellent. Okay. We're going to do the same thing, but now on the second row. So now we have 5 on the first row. We're going to do 4 on the second row. We're going to take our 2 most outer chords, and you can put them off to the side. We're not going to be using them at all. Start with your next group of 4 and do the same pattern. Make your loop, go over, cross it, go under, pull through, pull up, opposite side, and then you're going to grab the next 4 and make a total of 4 of these square knots. Okay, so that's rows 1 and 2. You have 5 square knots across the first row and 4 square knots across the second row. We're going to bring those outer chords back in, and we're going to make another square knot. And this time you can let there be a little bit of a gap. We don't have to be all up and tight to the previous knot. This can be a little bit more relaxed because we're trying to take up vertical space. The next 4 chords, you'll see that when you pull them together, there's a little diamond that forms. So we're going to work in that diamond. We're going to make 3 square knots vertically. And you want to leave a little bit of space once again. This is 1, same chords. This is 2. And this is 3. You can see this little V that forms, that counts as 1 square knot. Here's a second V makes 2, and a third V makes 3. We are now going to pinch them up like this to form a little ball. So I took just the bottom and I brought it up to the top. And now we're going to make a square knot to hold this in place. So you make your ball, take your outer cord, bring it over, drop your other outer cord in front so it makes that cross. Then the cord that we just dropped in front, we're going to pick them up, bring them around back, and through the loop, and then we'll pull, and that now holds this guy in place. And then we'll do the same on the other side. It's a regular square knot again. And this fully locks this little ball in place, and you can shift it around as you need it, as you see fit, in order to get the ball in the position that you want. Then we're going to make another regular square knot. You can see that little diamond is forming. And then the next 4, we're going to do the same as this ball here. So form your diamond. There it is. Remember to leave a little bit of space. Not 1. Not 2. Not 3. Take the bottom, hinge it up to the top. Take your outer cord, bring it across the middle. Take the other outer cord and cross it. Then take that crossing cord around back, through the loop, and pull. Making sure to adjust the ball as you see fit. And then make another knot to seal it in place. And then we're going to do one more of those ball knots right here in the center. And we'll give ourselves a little bit of space so we can see a little V forming. And that's really the pattern that we'll be working with this whole time, is a nice V shape. And now you can see the V that's forming. And then lastly, with our 4 remaining chords that we haven't touched, we'll make another regular square knot just like we have over here. Now we're going to continue our square knots down to solidify this V shape. This was knot number 1, so we're going to grab, for the next knot, our 2 outer chords. We are not going to use them. You can put them off to the side. We'll use 2 chords from knot number 1, and then 2 new chords. And once again, it's just a regular square knot. And then your outer 2 chords can be put away. Grab the next 2 and make another. And one more time on this side. Now we've reached our middle point. Grab 2 from the middle, 2 from your working chords that you've been working with. Make another square knot. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. Put these 2 off to the side, starting with our inner 2 chords and connecting here. And now we're going to join our 2 middle chords in the center to be the point of our V. And once again, there's that diamond that forms. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 square knots all coming to a point. And the next we're going to do is called a half hitch knot, but basically it's going to be like a roll knot. And what's going to happen is our 2 outer chords are going to be what's called a working chord. They are going to come across to continue this V pattern, and all these other chords are going to work around it. So you're going to take that left knot, bring it over your first chord, take that first chord, come under and through the loop, and then pull up so that it makes this little ball, and then do that again. But this time we're going over our working chord and through the loop, and then pulling up. And now that knot is secured. So here's our working chord. We cross over, and our chord that's going to make the knot is going from the under, over and through the loop, and then you pull up, and then it's going over the working chord, through the loop, and pull up. And you can adjust it as you need to. Once again, under, through the loop, pull up, over, through the loop, pull up, under, through the loop, pull up, over, through the loop, pull up. So our working chord is just here to be the place for everybody else to hang on to. But these hanging chords are the ones that are making the actual knot. We are going to once again go until we get to the center 2 chords. So on this side we will stop with these 2 chords, and then we will do the same on this side and work our way down to these 2 chords, and then we will connect the 2. We'll do this same pattern for 2 rows. And now we are going to connect our final 2 chords. Sometimes what I like to do is check their ends. If there's a chord that's longer than the other, to help even it out, I like to make the shorter chord the working chord, which means that's the one that just pulls, and then the longer chord is the one that actually does the looping to help them match up a little bit more. So it looks like my this side is longer than this side. So this side will be my working chord, which is just the pulling, and then the longer chord is going to be the one that actually loops around. There you go, and I just kind of like shoved it into the gap. There, very nice, very nice. Now we are going to go back to our square knots. With the 4mm cord, I only made 1 row. So as you can see, after the 2 rows of these half hitch knots, I think that's what they're called anyway, I just did 1 row of the square knots. However, with the 3mm cord, I'm doing 2 rows. So here's 1 row here and another row here, and that is helping to make up for the space that we're lacking. This is really the biggest difference between the two sizes of chords, is this section right here. So repeat this once for the thicker chord, and then repeat this twice for the thinner chord. So once again, just another V of square knots. However, there will be one difference. Instead of bringing 2 chords over and connecting them to the next 2, we're actually only going to bring 1, and we're going to work with the next 3. And then going to the outer side and doing it again. So that means we will have 3 square knots on both sides, and then 1 square knot will connect the 2 to form 7 knots. So, how's everyone's day? Doing good? If you're liking this so far, let me know. Let me know what else you want to see from me. If there's any designs you'd love to see me replicate so that you know how to make them for yourself, please tag me on Instagram, or send it, you can DM me on Instagram as well, or you can DM me on Facebook and tag me there too. And I would love to create something for y'all, and then I could put it up in my shop, and then maybe you can be gifted it or you can purchase it. You know, who knows? But do a little DTD, connect with me. All right, first row, done. We're gonna do the second row. Once again, 4 chords. We are now going to do another row of these rolled stitches. I'm thinking on crochet words. One of these rolled knots, or the half, not half double crochet. Wow, my brain is fully in crochet mode. Half hitch knots. Woo! We're gonna do another row of these half hitch knots, just a singular one right here, and then we will start with the ending. All right, we are almost done. So this last part looks the most complicated, but is easier in practice. So we're gonna make another ball knot. So we're gonna take our 4 middle chords, and first make a square knot, And we're gonna make the 3 in a row to make another one of these guys. Another thing to note is if you have to stop and you have to come back to it and you don't know where you left off, on your square knot, there's a little raised loop on one end. It's like a straight line. That tells you which chord to start with. So, because my knot is on this right side, I'm going to start with my right chord and bring that over, and then you know how that goes. And that keeps everything flat. This is where we started with my knot was on the right side. Then when I made that first tie, my knot went to this left side, which then told me my next one needs to start on the other side. And it just keeps going back and forth. Okay. Now is where it gets a little complicated. My outer 2 chords, these guys that put to the side. We're not gonna need them for a minute. Then my center chord is going to remain my center chord, and everybody else is going to work off of it in order to create this gathered and spread out design. And as you can see, there's just nothing but square knots down the center right below my ball knot. So let's make them. My middle 2 stays. We are going to ignore the first 2 chords that are next to the middle 2 chords. We're gonna go for the ones after that. These guys will be the last ones we touch. So for me, the ones I'm not working with, I like to put behind the hoop, and the ones I am working with, I like to put in front. And we're just going to make a square knot. Right underneath. And then you're gonna take the next 2 and work around the center chords and make another square knot. And keep going. It's almost like we're building a ladder or creating vertebrae of a spine. However you see it, that's the vision. Okay. So now we want to start attaching these chords to the actual bottom ring, and that's going to make that spread out effect in the bottom. So now we'll start with the 2 chords we did not touch in the beginning, and they were our 2 outer chords from our ball knot. And we're going to do this effect, but it's gonna be a little difficult to explain, so I'm just gonna zoom you in. So I take my cord and I bring it around the ring. The side that now is loose over here, I want to bring it around again on that opposite side. Bring it around, and then we're going to pull the cord through the loop. Remember to keep it nice and taut, and then it's going to look like that. From the back, we're going to bring it up and forward and to one side, get it in a good position, and then you're going to bring it over on the opposite side. So this is where it's loose. We're bringing it to the opposite side of its looseness, and then pull through the loop. And then I'm going to jump to the other side just to help keep its tautness, because this is where you might have to redo this section a couple times just to figure out the tension that you're going for and making sure that everything is still staying pretty centered. This is definitely the most finicky part. So bring it around. See. And you can absolutely readjust these after you finish doing all of them if need be, because it might need it. I've had to readjust every single one so far. And we're gonna keep doing this. It might be easier to just keep going back and forth from side to side to keep the tension. But we will do this until we have no more chords left. Okay, for this last bit, we're going to take our outer cords now that we've been saving, and we're just going to make really light knots as though we were kind of doing a square knot, but not fully, since we're only working with 2 cords. And you're just going to do literally that, and we're going to repeat it 6 times. And you want to just leave a little opening between the knots, and they will stretch. That's 3. That's 4. 5. And 6. 6. Throw it behind, around, and pull, and then around, and pull through the loop. Once again. Okay. This business is now done. We are now going to take our 6 shortest cords, and we are just going to attach them to fill in this gap the same way that we attached our original strings at the top. And if you need more than 6, that's totally fine, or less than 6. You use however many you need to fill in the gap between the 2 cords to make it look continuous. Hello, so it's a new day and we are at the final step of adding the flowers and the leaves to this piece. I personally have chosen to go with the hot glue method in order to adhere them, but if you want to make this interchangeable or just less permanent, then you absolutely can go with making sure that you have either some type of stems attached to the flowers and leaves that you're using, or even just green floral wire in order to attach that as well. So as you can see, we have our finished macrame piece, and here is an example of how the finished piece is going to look. So we've got the greenery kind of going off to the side and then also down across the piece. We have a flower in white, then a gold flower, another flower in white, and then we added just an extra little different kinds of greenery just to mix it up and give it some interest. And that's really all it is. So let's get down closer to this. I'll take a seat and then you can watch. I am going to be using picks such as this. These are faux eucalyptus leaves. Then I've got other little pieces like this, which are just different pieces from flower picks that were literally just like leaves off of flower picks. And then I also have these roses. These are particularly foam roses, so they're softer and they look a little bit more realistic and of a higher quality, but there are some really good greenery and leaves and flowers that you can get from even the dollar store, Dollar General. So whatever you are able to get your hands on, use it. I know that you'll make it look amazing. But those are the things I'm using today. And lastly, if need be, I've got clippers. So these are just to clip off any bits of stem. For example, I have some of the eucalyptus leaves that are thicker branch-like pieces, and I need clippers in order to clip off just a twig of it. And then I also have these, which have that rounded bit at the top, and that's gonna help me bend a wire around the ring if I do decide that that's how I'm going to adhere it. All right, I think that's it. You'll need a glue gun and some glue, and then I just got these little rubber tips from the Dollar Tree as well, and these are just to help keep you from burning your hands. They're not necessary at all, and if you do not intend on getting your hands close to the hot glue, and if you don't intend on using hot glue, these are not necessary. Alrighty, let's hop in. To start, I am arranging the greenery to find out how I want to group these different textures and colors together. And then I'm just using the wire cutters to minimize the amount of greenery I have at a time. And then I am bending the wires along the shape of the ring so that I can start to fluff it and really see where everything is going to be sitting as the base. Once the base is down, I start to add in the flowers and try to get them to stay while I'm still in the arranging process. And as you can see, I really liked the order of white, gold, white, and then I added in a little bit more greenery just to give it more of a pop, fullness, and texture. One last note, these colors can be whatever you want. That gold flower actually started out as a white flower, and I just sprayed about 4 coats of gold spray paint, but it worked. It took a while, but we got there. So if you don't find the colors that you need in store, or you don't want to pay for that price, just get yourself a can of spray paint and go for it. Alrighty, so we are done. I'm quickly losing sunlight, so I'll get through this quickly. However, this is how the one that y'all watch me make came out. We have the white, gold, white, and then some greenery, and I mixed them up. And as you can see, I was just playing with the different leaves and which ones I wanted to be more forward. If there are ones that you want to be more forward but they don't naturally just stay there, that's where hot glue comes in, and you can just glue like 2 little leaves together just with a little dot of glue, and that should do the trick. But now I will show you all 5. So this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4 and 5. So as you can see with the first 2, I did do something a little different because I had these little pine cone picks with a little snow on them, and this is a January wedding, so winter vibes are very much in the room. But I did not have any more of them, so that's why everyone is ever so slightly different. The actual macrame design is the same, but the layering of the leaves, like as you can see with these ones, the leaves are not as thick at this bottom part, but it is bushier up at the top. And then, for example, the last one I just did is definitely bushier at the bottom and not as thick up at the top. But yeah, so all of these will be for all 5 bridesmaids, including myself. And this is how they turned out. I will definitely show you some excellent b-roll, well, hopefully excellent b-roll tomorrow when the sun is out. But this is the end. I hope that you have enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to share with me, some video interests that you want to see more of, or if there's something that you saw and you thought of me, you can always tag me on Instagram and Facebook. My handles are right here and they're also linked down below. And that is really it. I hope that you enjoyed. I will see y'all in the next one. Time for the final result.